The tribunal chamber was cold, a deliberate design by the Socrathi, whose exoskeletons thrived in low temperatures. The accused stood alone at the center. Two humans, male and female, hands bound in magnetic cuffs, faces unreadable. Around them, an audience of thousands, representatives from the Trade Confederacy, Dominion species, mercantile clans, and aristocratic dynasties. They had gathered to witness what they believed was poetic justice. Admiral Cal Fricks of the Dominion High Council observed the humans with contempt hidden behind polished diplomacy. For crimes against the stability of the galactic order, his voice echoed, distorted by translator fields. For sowing rebellion, for toppling governments, for violating countless treaties, you are hereby sentenced to exile on Varelian Prime. A ripple of approval passed through the spectators. Varelian Prime, a Class 15 Deathworld, the highest classification for planetary hostility ever recorded. Nothing lived there. Nothing lasted there. Storms that could shear titanium apart, atmospheric pressures that could rupture reinforced exosuits, temperatures that swung from molten to cryogenic in hours. The few automated probes sent there were destroyed within days. No known species had set foot on its surface and survived. The humans did not react. They did not beg, plead, or protest. The woman, Commander Evelyn Reed, simply met Cal Fricks's gaze, her eyes flat and unreadable. The man beside her, Lieutenant Marcus Hale, tilted his head as though listening to something only he could hear. Do you understand your sentence? Cal Fricks pressed. Evelyn Reed's lips curved faintly, not quite a smile. Perfectly. They were transported within the hour. Transmission blackout initiated. No monitoring permitted. No rescue. No retrieval. The Dominion celebrated. The Confederacy toasted. For the first time in decades, it seemed, the human threat, the unpredictable, aggressive, stubborn species from Sol, would finally be contained, removed from the galactic stage without bloodshed or war. Weeks passed, then months, and then the transmissions began. At first, they were dismissed as anomalies. A faint signal intercepted by a Confederacy deep space array. Static, garbled distortions. But it repeated. The signature matched old Earth communications protocols, obsolete by galactic standards, but undeniably human. The Dominion ignored it. Let them scream into the void, they thought. Let them broadcast their final moments. Their hopeless struggle against an environment designed to annihilate life. But the signals grew clearer. Images followed, grainy at first, but unmistakable. Structures. Permanent structures. Domes constructed from scavenged materials. Filtration towers. Power arrays. Lights glowing in perpetual darkness of Varelian Prime. And then people. Humans, walking, working, alive. At first, it was dismissed as fabrication, impossible. But analysis confirmed the footage was genuine. Atmospheric readings from the transmissions matched Varelian Prime's brutal climate. Visual landmarks were consistent with known planetary maps. More images arrived. Crops modified, engineered. Vehicles traversing the jagged, unstable terrain. A shield generator humming with crude, makeshift design, nothing like the refined, sterile technology of the core worlds, but functional. Then came the most damning broadcast of all. Evelyn Reed stood before a crude camera, wind howling behind her. Her uniform was tattered, her face gaunt, yet her eyes burned with something feral and unwavering. To the Dominion, the Confederacy, and whoever else thought this would break us, she gestured behind her. The camera panned. Vast fields of reinforced greenhouses, towering wind turbines, armored habitats dotting the jagged landscape like stubborn scars. You didn't exile us. You gave us a challenge. She paused, gaze steady. Varelian Prime isn't a death world anymore. It's home. The galaxy recoiled. Expeditions were launched in secret. Stealth ships dispatched to observe, to confirm. They never returned. Those that did, broken and crippled, carried horrifying tales. The humans had not merely survived. They had tamed the planet's fury. They had fortified. They had expanded. Satellite images revealed sprawling industrial complexes, underground bunkers, atmospheric stabilizers, geothermal plants. The planet's lethal environment had not destroyed them. It had taught them. It was as though Varelian Prime, hostile, merciless, impossible, had become a proving ground, a crucible. Rumors spread like wildfire. Did you hear? They built factories in the magma zones. I saw footage. They used the storms for power. They harvest resources no other species can even touch. And beneath the rumors, a chilling realization settled into the minds of the galactic elite. They had taken humanity, the most unpredictable, resilient species in known space, and thrown them into the worst environment conceivable. And instead of perishing, they had evolved. Months turned to years. Trade vessels vanished near the system. Pirate incursions failed. Their ships found gutted. Their crews missing. Probes sent to orbit were hijacked. Returning streams of data showcasing human military exercises, advanced weapons testing, shipyards. And then came the second broadcast. Marcus Hale appeared this time, seated beside a console of human and salvaged alien technology. His beard was streaked with gray now, his eyes hard with experience. To those watching, you should have left us alone. Behind him, a warship hovered in the sky. Black, angular, monstrous. Its design unfamiliar. Its hull bristled with weaponry. Plasma emitters. Kinetic rail cannons. Shields flickering like coiled serpents of energy. The broadcast zoomed out, revealing dozens more ships, each larger, more advanced, more brutal in design. Built from Varelian Prime's impossible resources. Engineered by desperation. Forged by human ingenuity and stubborn refusal to die. Hale's voice was low, steady. We've endured your exile. We've turned your Deathworld into our forge. And now we're coming back. Panic erupted. Emergency councils convened. The Dominion scrambled fleets. The Confederacy declared states of martial readiness. Treaties rewritten. Plans abandoned. But it was too late. The first human ships left Varelian Prime 6 months later. Silent, cloaked, undetectable by standard sensor arrays. They appeared above Dominion mining colonies, Confederacy research stations, pirate strongholds, always striking without warning. They didn't conquer. They dismantled. Weapons installations vanished. Infrastructure melted to slag. Resource convoys intercepted and emptied. Entire outposts stripped clean overnight. The message was clear. You exiled us. You forced us to adapt. Now, we are beyond your control. And then the rumors deepened into terror. The Deathworlders had changed. Prolonged exposure to Varelian Prime's gravity, atmosphere, and brutal environment had altered them. Enhanced musculature, hardened bones, neural resilience, biological adaptations no other species possessed. Humans were already feared for their aggression, unpredictability, and ability to survive conditions that killed others. Now, they were something else entirely. The Dominion called them Prime-born. The Confederacy labeled them Varelian variants. The humans called themselves Forged. And they were not alone. Other human colonies, hearing of Varelian Prime's fate, sent volunteers. Soldiers, engineers, scientists, all eager to prove themselves, to survive the ultimate test, to emerge stronger. Varelian Prime became more than exile. It became a rite of passage, a crucible, and the Forge became legend. Galactic powers scrambled to negotiate, to contain, to prepare. But their efforts were hollow. The balance of power had already shifted. Their worst nightmare had come to pass. Not the extinction of humanity, but its evolution. And as the Forge fleet spread across the stars, striking with surgical precision, dismantling empires piece by piece, a single haunting truth echoed through every council chamber, every war room, every trembling transmission across the galaxy. They sent humans to a Class 15 Deathworld. Nothing happened like they hoped. Instead, the impossible happened. And now no world was safe.